Greetings, Captains, Gunship here. This is the review of the USS Arizona. So let's get started. First off, let's start with the good bits. This is the armor protection layout of the ship, and as you can see, it is well protected. 343mm belt along the side and 330mm at the front. That is not bad at all. Turrets and everything else is also very well protected. So from a protection armor point of view, very good. Speed, nothing particularly to write home about. It's relatively slow battleships, but having been laid down in 1915, it was, one of the earlier ones, so that is all forgiven, but don't expect any miracles trying to sail from A to B. Also, turning with this big ship is a bit of a long-winded affair, but, it's doable. When it comes to the main gun's rotation speed, that's where the problems with this ship starting to appear. It takes a good, and I tested this, about 1:30 to rotate 180 degrees, i.e. from the left side to the right side. And that's quite a long time to wait for your guns to get on target for sure. Painfully slow. It feels worse than Japanese ships, so I guess that says a lot. Now, all it would be forgiven if actually you would have a really good brawler at your hand. A ship that really could go to town in the middle of things, fighting left, right and center. But the Arizona is far from that ship. Partly because of that simple task of actually getting your guns on target in the first place, but also because of your rate of fire. So looking at this little Excel spreadsheet that I have created here, it has a good combination of all the different main battleships we have, and of course the two new ones, the Congo, Arizona, I put down in green down the bottom. And what should be immediately apparent for you and to stand out is basically the rate of fire, the ROF. At 14.4 shots per minute, that is really, really low. Lower than any other of the ships, and therefore it's basically not competitive, especially at its battle rating of 6.7. And the main reason for this is the reload time. As you can see, 50 seconds, and this is with an ace crew, maxed out everything. 50 seconds is the quickest you can reload the guns by. And it's massive compared to the next slowest, if you like, which is all of the Poltava Maria at 33.3 seconds. It's simply not any good. Also, when you take into consideration that it has 12 guns it can bear on target, the time between shots, this is called in seconds, is 4.17. Again, it's higher than any of the other ones. Now, it does get quite a good HE shell, and that shell has 39.3 kilos of TNT. And it does mean that, when you're firing in terms of TNT per minute fired on target, it is up to 566. But that, again, compared to all the other ships, are rubbish for those that can fire high explosive. For the next column along, that's where we are looking at SAP stroke AP. So I've taken the shell you're most likely to use, and you can see out in black or white on black, either AP or SAP as it says here. And here it becomes really apparent. Using AP, you are basically putting down 200 kilo of TNT per minute. And yes, it's a good shell in terms of penetration, but it is a far cry from what, for example, the Huger can put out with SAP or the Paris Commune. It's terribly inconsistent with that. Even if you look at even worse comparison, if you take something like, for example, the Paris Commune SAP ammunition at 1647 and compare that to the HE of the Arizona 566, why are these two ships even in the same league? It might have the staying power in terms of it got good armor protection, but compared to, for example, the Congo or the Paris Commune, it has AA is nothing special on the Arizona at all. It's not particularly good, so I wouldn't even rate that. The Congo has speed, the Arizona certainly does not. Let's go away from stats for a second and just talk about how it actually is to play or what it feels like playing a ship. I've just come out of a 3.5 hour sort of game session where I've been played the ship sort of pretty much non-stop. And my best times playing the USS Arizona is actually when I played my PT-811 boat, because I had a lot more fun in that. It is just not fun to play. And when you start taking damage on top of the 50-second reload time, the reload of guns can take up to 70 seconds plus, as you can see on the video right now. 70 seconds, 69, 68, 67. You know, that is a really long time to wait for your ship to reload. It takes away the fun of playing. And normally you will see me putting down footage of me, shooting a ship and it's exploding and all the rest of it and how marvelous it is. I can't actually show you a whole lot of that, because the only way to really try and spade this ship up is not to focus on other battleships, but simply just try and use the HE to destroy cruisers with and get some, I was going to say easy kills, but they're not even that easy at the moment. The repair of the ship, and I know that's a general thing that has changed with the game of recently, is that repair time takes longer, etc., etc. It's sort of soul destroying. It takes away the fun of playing, and that's why I really cannot recommend this ship at all. I think you probably should research it just so you have it in the lineup, and hopefully they'll bring out something better. So it is with regret that I have to put the Arizona in the worst rating ever that I have done. Put it down in E, because I don't even think it's a D. It's just so bad to play, and my strong recommendation is don't play it, research it, just so you have it, but wait until they either do one of two things. Either lower the reload time so it's more competitive. If it was 33 seconds like the Poltava Maria, it would be just about okay. I think that would make a big change. Or change the battle rating, and I don't even think changing it down to 6.3 would be enough. I think it would have to go down to 6.0 if they want to keep that ridiculous reload rating. It's just terrible, and Gaiden need to really pay attention to this. Maybe it was unintentional because they were doing other changes to repair times, etc. Many moving parts and all that is difficult to figure out what's what, and maybe it's easier to make things better than go the other way and make things worse. Although that they can do that too, that's up to them. But right now it's just not a fun or competitive ship to play at 6.7. That's the fact, and I'm really sorry to have to say this, because I think it's a really iconic ship for the US Navy, just like, I don't know, Bismarck would be for the Germans or the Hood would be for the English. It's a terrible thing to do, and yeah, they should have thought a lot better about it before they put it into the game. That is all for today. See you in the next one.